Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. I can't believe this is my 13th season here at UCF with my husband, Tim Sahaydak. As you guys know, we coach together. So I'm feeling lucky 13, guys. Lucky 13. My hope for this season, I feel good about it. We have a brand new team. You're going to see 11 new players on our roster. And so we worked really hard after this past season to recruit from the transfer portal. We have some freshmen, I think, that will be able to make an impact right away, immediately, which will be exciting. And so you're going to see a new roster. Obviously, the returners that we have are exciting players as well, and they're going to bring that experience and the knowledge from have played in our system and know the behaviors and the expectations already. But ultimately, I'm a really proud coach because we've really gotten to work since January. So our coaching staff's done a great job, like I said, putting together an awesome roster. But in addition to that, the players that we've added, and then talking about the returners, they've really gelled. And they love playing together. They love training. So their attitudes, like to be able to coach a team with an attitude like that they have is a dream. And so just really looking forward to the season. And I feel really positive about it.
Coach, obviously you got, Chloe Netzel was such a fantastic player, all Big 12 performer. You don't replace a player like that, but it creates opportunities for other of your strikers and forwards. Just talk about some of the players you've got there that will help fill in the gaps there from a goal-scoring standpoint and playmaking.
Yeah, of course, it is hard to replace a Chloe Netzel, and we won't because she's her own player, and you guys saw how dominant she is, but we knew that would be a type of player we would need to do our best to try and replace. And so you'll hear from Liz Warden, a transfer that's come to us from Long Beach State and prior to that, Texas. So we actually recruited Liz when she was on the portal the first time. She got the wrong school when she went in the portal. She can talk about that to you guys. But now she's in the right place. We're going to be leaning a lot on Liz. We have another amazing goal scorer, Rahana Reed. Also another transfer. You're going to love her style. She's kind of like a street baller, and she's very deceptive, can get looks on goal too. And then, our midfield's very strong. And a lot of the midfielders are transfers as well that have come in. We have some returners as well. But yeah, we're going to be looking to some new players. We also have a freshman, Kalena Bellini. She's been playing. I don't know if she'll play forward in this next game. She trained as a fullback, but we've been training her up top, and she was very impactful against in our exhibition versus JU. I think she had the most impact. She was the most effective forward that we had, and that was a freshman. And so yeah, I think will we have a Chloe Netzel? I don't know. I hope so, but I know as a whole we've added a lot more talent to this roster.
Coach, talk on this transfer portal. What are you looking for whenever you have somebody who is interested in transferring to UCF?
Yeah, mainly what has their experience been so far, and so a lot of times the players that we're getting aren't players that weren't getting playing time at their previous university. I mean, we're getting players that have experience. So when we're going in the portal, a lot of times we want experienced players that we can plug into a starting lineup or plug into like a rotation immediately. And so we're really looking for that experience and dominant players. And we believe we really have been able to do that.
Coach, you, of course, did have a little bit of injuries last year with Jessica McCall and Emily Thompson. What's it like to have those two back this time around?
Yeah, Jess is looking great. You could see with every day that goes by, I know she's been training all summer, but obviously I haven't been able to watch her. But since preseason camp started, I'm watching her every day and evaluating her every day. And you can see every day she gains more confident and doesn't even look like she had an injury. And move on from, we took Emily off of the roster actually, so she won't be on the roster. Yeah.
Okay. So as far as the goalkeeping situation, you had Genesis. Genesis was of course all playing internationally, so you had Sandy step up, and she really took advantage of that. But she ended up helping you guys with between her and Genesis. You were one of the better goalkeeping teams actually last year statistically. So how do you kind of handle having both goalkeepers now from the beginning going into this season?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because you have two starting goalkeepers on your team, but this isn't the first time UCF has been in that situation. And I think if you have two starting goalkeepers on your team, it's just going to help us be more successful in the end. So they're going to continue to battle it out, and you know, the plan for Genesis is not to leave during the season to go on international duty. So it will be nice to have some continuity with Genesis staying with the team throughout the season. But again, Genesis and Sammy are both doing really well in preseason, and I see us using both of them.
Coach, you mentioned the exhibition games that, it's the first time you get a look at this new club. What's maybe something you've noticed after these first two that you didn't before?
What I've noticed about our team, and saying when I say noticed before, like from January or from the last season?
Yeah, from January just to now.
From January, okay.
Small sample size.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Not a ton of difference, because I think we've made so many gains starting in January, because maybe James can help me with this, but I want to say 5 or 6 of our transfers were with us since January out of the 11. And so we were really able to integrate them early. And so we really gelled from then. So there's not like a ton of change from January until now, and it's kind of hard to tell. But I will say, we have a little midfielder from California, Sophia May. She's really, turned my head. I'm like, okay, you never know what true freshmen are coming in, especially if they've never had international experience and they're coming in domestic freshmen. I actually don't ever really have a lot of expectation for these freshmen, but Soph's come in and has done really well, and I could tell she's already earned the respect from a lot of her older teammates around her. So she's going to get playing time right away. And so she's been, it's kind of been a fun addition that we weren't really expecting right away. Yeah.
With the regular season being just 2 days away, what are you mostly focusing on in training camp right now?
It's kind of a joke, because when you think about how short our preseason is, we always talk about doing things at lightning speed, and we're like, okay, guys, it's like you got 1 day to train this, and we're moving on to the next phase. But we're really, thankfully, like I said, majority of the team, we've been together since January. So we added a lot of the information to get everybody acclimated from January. But we're just revisiting a lot of those things with the new players now listening. But it's really everything. Like today we talked about game management. Scenarios. What do we do when we're game up? What do we do when we're down, we're trying to force a goal, right? Obviously, we've been working on our defensive phases, attacking phases, and we have to hit them up with so much information in such a short period of time, but every school is doing that right now.
On the road tomorrow, I'm guessing, game on Thursday. Talk about the early schedule. Do you feel you'll be tested on Thursday and a couple of games after?
I hope so. That's the plan. When you look at our schedule, I do. I feel like we need to be tested early on. The Big 12 is no joke. And there's a lot of travel in the Big 12. So my goal was for us not to travel as much in this first half of the season. And you can see that we've been able to do that. It's really hard also to make a travel roster, right? Everyone deserves it. We've got 26 players that are all fighting for it. I'm in a good position as the coach where I do have to make a travel roster for UAB, but for the next 7 games after that, I'm not having to make a travel roster. And that gives all the players more time to be together, to train together, not missing training days with the core. So I think after UAB, that those 7 games, it's going to be really great time for our team to spend a lot of time together and learn together and not miss out on one another.
What's your crystal ball look like for the Big 12 this year?
We're winning a championship. That's what we've been talking about. So I know that's a big task, especially based on where we landed last year. But if you talk to any of our players, that's what they want. And we believe in them, and we are preparing them to do that. And I think that's the only route you can go. So we've got big plans, big expectations, big dreams. And in my opinion, that's the only route for us to go.
Historically, your teams, when you've had depth, as you've built, you're a believer in depth, having extra, fresh legs. to wear down teams, especially when you're playing a second match, for example, on a Sunday after a Thursday match. Where do you feel your depth is at right now? Are you pleased where it's at, especially on the defensive and the midfield side?
I think this is the best depth we've ever had at UCF. So I'm really excited about our depth, and we've talked to our players. You know, in the past, you've seen a typical starting lineup, and you kind of get used to the same players starting. I think this year could be different. I think we have a lot more than 11 starters on our team, and I think that's how you win a championship, by having, you know, 15 to 20 starters, and you can make more rotations. And I just think it's way more sustainable when you're making more rotations when you're playing Thursday, Sunday for weeks on and weeks on, right? So you need to give players the proper rest, which we haven't completely been able to do in the past. But I think we have really good balance among the lines. I already talked about the goalkeeper, but from the defending line to the midfield to the forwards, we have a lot of depth. And I do think it's the best depth that we've ever had, and I think the players feel it too. Like, they're feeling the competition within the team, but it's healthy competition, and I think they're at a place where, like, okay, if I start great, but if you start great for the team too, and that's where really we need to get, and I think that's how I feel about where our team is right now.
Have you seen a team identity start to take shape, especially heading into the season now?
Yeah, like, you know, our identity, we're hungry and we're together. And we've implemented that in the past. And in possession, I want you to see a team that is confident on the ball. You know, we make passes, build through the third, short passes, a lot of combinations, using each other, and then getting an attacking third, and let, you know, our star forwards, our attacking players do their magic and be creative. So I want you to see this attacking style soccer, and a team that expects to be on the ball a lot. We came off of our game against Miami. It was a tie, but we had majority of the possession. And then as far as defensive, go, you can ask them, but I've started to hear them, barking in the locker room. I'm like, what are they, wild dogs, like going after the ball, loose balls, it's our ball. So, if we feel like possession is our best quality, well, then we got to work really hard to win the ball back as fast as possible, and that's going to be one of our goals. Transition, get the ball back as quick as possible, and that takes a lot of hard work, but the players are fit and they're willing to do it.
Have you seen this team respond to adversity?
Yes, I would say just in our last match against Miami, we were down 1-0. They scored off essentially a set play, and we scored within 5 minutes to tie it up right after that. And so I thought that was a great opportunity for us to kind of see who we are in that situation. We had to respond in the spring. We went down to Daytona State 2-0. Early on, and I think it had surprised all of us, and we ended up coming back and winning the game 5-2. So we've been in a couple of situations now with this squad where we went down a little early and then came back and won or tied. So hopefully we'll be up all the time. That's the plan, not have to respond. But we're ready for adversity. We talk about it a lot.
Coach, just saw earlier that Maria Dragonson got named captain. Just what stood out about her that she ended up getting elected to that position?
Yeah, she's pure class. She's in a class of her own. She's been here for a long time. Maria, how long have you been here? I don't even know. Maria, how long have you been here? 5 years. So she's going into her 5th year. She has another year of eligibility, which she promised to stay here. I'm holding her to that. But Maria's been around, and she's that type of leader who's quiet and has a lot of humility, but does the work. And I think over time, when you've just done the work and have respected your teammates and have led through being service-oriented and just leading with humility, you win people over. And she's gone through a lot of adversity herself individually, and just to see her overcome all that, and then also just gain all the respect by her teammates, I am not surprised, but she is in a class of her own, and that's why she's our sole captain this year.
What's the biggest thing this team needs to do? Because last year you got 3 wins. How do you rebound from that this season?
I think that the team is hungry. We're not really looking back at, obviously we've learned from last year, but it's a brand new team. You got 11 new players, and of those 11, a lot of them will be in the starting lineup, and we'll be rotating, making a lot of teams. So this team doesn't even remember last year because a lot of them weren't even here. So I think we're just starting fresh and starting new, and you can see that their energy,
Soccer, women's soccer has exploded. I mean, the NWSL now is on networks that's getting big numbers on CBS and everything like that. Local championship or the Orlando Pride team. What, as somebody who's been around it as a player and as a coach, just describe the growth of the sport of soccer from the collegiate level onto the pro level, because that starts right here in the collegiate level.
You guys have seen it. I mean, it has exploded, and it's wonderful to see, and I believe that the women deserve it. They've been working really hard to have a league of their own, and you can see how entertaining, this football could be at the highest level and in the collegiate level. And so it's, I feel very proud. I'm like a proud mom. I was there from the beginning, breaking barriers and helping our sport grow globally. And so just to see where it's come is a big deal. I think now that there's more pro opportunity, I think that is one of the something about our program that makes it special and puts us in a different situation than I would say our competitors. Maybe James needs a fact check, but right now I believe that we are developing the most pros in the Big 12. So currently we have 30 pros playing globally, and right now I believe that is the most that any program in the Big 12 has currently playing professionally. And I think that has to do with the staff's background, knowing our connections, and also knowing how to develop then an environment that is very pro-like.
Is that a big part of the pitch when you either were the transfer recruiting?
100%. And if you asked a lot of our recruits and you asked a lot of you could ask Liz. She told me she wants to come here and she wants to be a pro. And so I think that is where we're trending. And now we have the statistics to back that, and we have the players to back that, because they are playing and having success after they leave here. But yeah, it definitely is a pitch, and you'll see even that's why players are committing here. Transfers or freshmen. And you asked a lot of them, majority of them want to be pros after they leave here.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.